Andrea, she's not here yet, I don't think, is she? She started that Facebook group. I don't know how many of you guys did. About 20 or 25 people. Do you know what the name of it is? It's just called Sean Rules Math 243, I think. Yeah, I sent you guys an email about it.
Oh, you did?
A couple, about last week, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, check your email. You got an email from me about it.
I joined. Yeah.
Excellent. And there was a wonderful discussion. Even I had to run up from 105 back to my office, back to 105 this morning, and I got my phone and I checked to see if anybody was last-minute questions, and they were still discussing question 2 and question 3. On the project, and there were some great discussions going about it. So please use that as a resource. I mean, I'm not going to make you do it, obviously, but if you can't get hold of me, I mean, remember how I won't answer questions on the day something's due. They obviously were, and I just checked and I said, "Good work, guys," because they're doing great. They're saying everything I would say. I love it when you guys talk to each other, because sometimes you can say it in a way I can't. Like you speak each other's language a little better than me sometimes. Sometimes we all speak together. Sometimes I know how to say something differently. It really is, and I think these little groups that start, I think it's just one more awesome resource. I didn't mean for you not like the project. I definitely didn't want you to overthink it. That's why I was giving you the solutions. There was so precious little math in that project. So precious little math. It was just, what fraction did you use to get to that decimal? And then the very last one was like, write a sentence for me, or a mathematical sentence. No math involved in the last one.
It's hard when you take another math class trying to like...
So in the last one...
Oh, I have to look at this more simple than more...
Go ahead, David.
In the last one, I kind of followed, so here's the example, I followed that
good.
example.
That's what I wanted you to do. Now, if any of you are sitting here going, holy crap, we had a project due today. Somebody, my son, there is. Oh boy. So, if that happened, I predict this kind of thing does happen. So what I'm going to do, that's what you might feel like right now. I want to jump out, I want to show you something, a page that I didn't mention on the first day of class because I didn't think it made sense to on the first day of class. Yes, ma'am.
Rainy.
I have these things called rainy day coupons. I want to show them to you. And if you go to the schedule page, there's a big box right here called rainy day coupons. So some of you may wonder, so I've turned in one quiz. I got 10 on it. And I'm sitting on 150% in the class right now. Anybody wondering why their average is over 100 right now? The reason is, there's a rainy day coupon for an exam, a quiz, and a project. The project one is the only one that applies to you guys right now, so it's the only one we'll talk about right now. If you walk into a class like today and you realize, uh-oh, I was supposed to do a project and forgot, you can print this out, and it gives you an extra 24 hours to get it done. So you staple this, you have to follow all this, to print. It's all about not using Blackboard because the link is now gone in Blackboard. So you have to print the project out, do it all manually, staple the coupon to the project, and have it in my office fewer than 24 hours from now. 24 hours.
From the class period.
From the class period's beginning. So 10:15, you have till 10:15 tomorrow if you forgot to do the project. Most students never use this, but this is a wonder. I learned this from my acupuncturist like 5 years ago because I forgot. I missed an appointment. It was one of those things where I was going like once a month and then I missed, and she called me. She's like, hey, I missed you. I'm like, oh, poop. I'm like, I'm going to send you a check right now. She's like, I gave everybody one free pass, and I'm like, huh, I like that. So all my students get one free pass on each assessment, each kind of assessment, a project, a quiz, or an exam. This is your project pass. So what it allows you to do, if you don't use it, you get an extra 5 points added into your point total. That's why all of you are sitting on 5 points right now. 5 extra points on your progress report for a rainy day project.
For every single one.
Every single one of you has 5 points. No, you only get to use this one time.
No, but for every coupon you get 5 points.
The other ones have different point values. We'll get into those when they make sense to get into.
Right.
I'm not right now. It makes sense after your first exam and later in the course.
Right.
So the project one just makes sense now because it's your first project. So that's why you have the 5 points. This is also the, oh, I'm okay, 24 hours. Just don't do it twice, obviously, because you can't use it more than once.
Don't abuse it.
Say it again?
Don't abuse it.
Well, you can. I won't let you. So that's the idea for that. Anyway, cool? Excellent-ish? Getting there, maybe. All right. So anyway, that was from Donna Stansel. She's a wonderful, wonderful lady. Gave me the idea, and I just like to stick with that idea. So, sorry, Joanne, this all started with your comment. I apologize. I didn't mean the project to be terrible. I meant it basically just to be an introduction to how to think probabilistically. How to answer the question, you know, if you pull a card out of a deck of cards, how likely is it that you pull an ace? Who wants to answer that for me? Fair deck of cards, normal poker deck of cards.
I don't know how many cards are there.
52 total.
All right.
So, Alicia, 4 out of 52 or 1 out of 13. I heard somebody say 1 out of 13. Good. 1 out of 13. What does that mean? Does that mean if I pull 13 cards, I'm going to get an ace? Does that mean I have to
Maybe.
pull 13 cards until I get an ace?
Means a round.
Does that mean I'll pull an ace on the first one, then pull 12 non-aces, then I'll pull an ace, then I'll pull 12 non-aces, then I'll pull an ace, then I'll pull... We're seeing a lot of...
You
lot
could
of
pull 3
no's.
aces in a
Randall?
row.
It means you have a probability of getting one ace out of 13 tries.
That's what I just said, right? If I pull 13 tries, I'll get an ace in there.
This is the choice.
You'll like it.
On average or on average?
Oh!
Average.
Oh! On average over time. So what you're telling me... Wait a minute. Wait, Riley. So you're telling me that I might pull 26, 27, 28 cards and never see an ace. But then how could it be possibly 1 in 13? David, tell me what you just said up here.
Well, you could also pull 3 aces all in a row.
You could also pull 3 aces all in a row, and then somewhere down the line, or before that, I will have had an option where I pulled, say, 30 cards and not seen an ace. What it averages out to is 1 in 13, right? That's the idea. It's an average over time, an average of 1 in 13, or 0.3, or 0.7, or 1/2, or 0.56, or whatever the probability is. It's not a promise, it's a probability. And what it is it's an average over time. That's what I'm trying to fuse the idea of probability with the statistical idea we're talking about in class. It's not a promise. That's why I love it when you hear about these little Vegas casinos. If you go to like Canita or you go to Vegas and you see these people sitting, that machine's due, that machine's hot, that machine's due. Because they've been playing it for a while and it hasn't paid out. You ever seen that? You know, the people sitting there and they're watching. And as soon as they get up, they run and sit in that seat, they start pumping money in, and guess what? It's probably not gonna hit. Because it's programmed not to. Have you seen the billboard on 97? They may have pulled it down. Someone just won, I don't know, $645,000. Will you be next?
No.
So I took a picture of that and posted to Facebook. Statistically, no.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to be next. Because the chance of winning that amount is so infinitesimally small. It happens once every, I don't know, 200,000 pulls or 200, I don't know, 200,000, 250,000 pulls, whatever it is.
Well, it has to pay out for the house that's doing it.
And they know those numbers. You will too at the end of this course. You will know how to control those numbers to control the payouts. You guys already kind of do from 105 because I had to do it with the with craps at the very end. What's that?
I can't go to Vegas.
No. I don't want to ruin your fun time of going to Vegas. That's not what this class is about. It's making sure you understand that if you walk in there, you are going to walk out on average over time with less money. That's what I want you to understand.
Which means I can't go because I don't know.
That's okay. That's okay. I mean, if you think about going to Vegas like going to the movies, I mean, when you go to the movie,
You lose money.
you lose money. You gain the experience of going to a movie and watching the movie. I mean, I went to see Life of Pi I don't know how many times when it was in the theater. Because I read that book 15 years ago, and I said, please never make a movie out of this. Never make a movie of this. And they did, and I said, oh God, they made a movie. I was like, oh, but Ang Lee did it. I'm going. And I went, and I cried because it was so beautiful. And I just kept going back and going back. It's like, what, like $15 a pop? But it was worth it. That experience to me was viscerally worth it to go. Going to Vegas might be worth it, or going to Canada might be worth it, because it's not that you're going to lose money, but the experience has a monetary value, or at least a temporal value to you. I have a quiz problem. I'm trying to develop for you guys this term. How much would a questionnaire have to be worth to make it worth your time to do? Have you often like been online and a pop-up comes up, hey, take our survey and you're entered in a blah, 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 blah.
To win.
I want to see if I can figure out on average what it would be worth for you guys to do something like that. 25 bucks, 30 bucks, 50 bucks. Lily, what are you thinking?
It's surprisingly low.
It's surprisingly low. You've studied it.
No, Google has.
They have an analytic.
There's
Those
an app
bastards.
that
They already
you
answered my
can
question.
answer surveys and stuff. So.
They already answered my question for me. I want to try it here with you guys and see if it's any different.
5 points. I actually.
Oh, what?
I'm like, I paid 13 cents.
Oh my God. But I also want to test perception versus reality. I want to see if there's a difference. I'm curious. But that's the idea. You can go to the movies and you're throwing your money away, theoretically speaking, right? You can go to Vegas and you're throwing your money away, theoretically speaking, but there's an experience you got from doing it. I mean, if you think that an experience that costs money is simply losing money, you'll never do anything, right? You'll never do anything. My wife and I stayed at Crater Lake Lodge for our anniversary this year. That was a lot of freaking money. We had to wait a year to get the reservations for it. And when I told my friends about how much it cost, they're like, oh my God. I'm like, yeah, but we've been married 14 years. And it's a place she loves to go to. So that was worth way more than what I actually paid. So you can't, I mean, I don't want to ruin your guys' perception of going to places like Vegas and spending money to have fun. I just want you to understand the mathematics behind it. Like when you buy, one of my former mathematics, Math 243 students just won $1 million at the lottery. Did you see it? Eric Hale?
Yeah.
In the news, Eric Hale took my 243 class 3 years ago. He obviously didn't listen to me. And he won $1 million. Maybe you'll be next. You probably won't. But I told him the same thing in class, didn't I? Of course I did. But he played anyway, and good for him. It's awesome. He split it with his brother. It was a great story. Him and his brother apparently made a friendship pact like 30 years ago that said if we ever play the lottery, we win, we split it half and half with each other. And they did. It's so cute. And Eric is such a great dude. Totally awesome. And I wish you all, when you go to Vegas or play the lottery, you win too. Just realize you most likely won't.
Well, and the other thing is that like when you play the lottery, you're helping out like parks or something like that.
There's all,
There's
yes.
all these incentives.
There's
Like
definitely,
state parks and
So
definitely.
it's not necessarily that you're playing to actually win the money. You're playing because you want to help those things.
You'd be surprised at how people think like
I
that.
know,
Scott. I'm just trying to say,
The
I don't
true
want to
incentive
ruin,
is
no,
like-
you got it, brother. I don't want to ruin your enjoyment. I just want to make sure you can metric your loss. That's all. That's all. Please, Michelle.
A couple years ago, I had a